back, boys. Another day, another content from AniNews. Here we are, boys. AniNews has finally dropped his video for ReZero. He's doing Tensura right now. He's doing ReZero and Tensura. I don't know if he's doing another series right now, but that's why he's like kind of like delayed on his ReZero stuff for cut content. So for this one, he actually dropped the one for episode 2. So keep that in mind that this is cut content for episode 2, not 3. All right, so last week's episode. Today we have how Subaru's first deaths of the new season went in the novel. Let's get it.
After pretty much one-lifing the entire arc of Season 3, it's refreshing to see Subaru back on the struggle train again. I'm not gonna say I enjoy seeing him.
Wait, run that back? I'm sorry, what?
After pretty much one-lifing the entire arc of Season 3, it's refreshing to see Subaru back on the struggle train again.
It's refreshing to see Subaru on the struggle train again. Yo, AniNews, what the fuck, bro? See, so that's actually that's actually like one of like the main complaints, right, from novel readers. Like also what from what I heard, that like season 3 was not really that like psychological thriller, like horror aspect of ReZero, of Subaru dying and like the mental struggles that come with it and all that shit, right? Like season 3 didn't really have that, right? It was like the very beginning, right? Like the very beginning, I guess, like you saw like the back-to-back deaths, and that's about it, and everything else was like battle shonen, fighting and stuff, right? So you know, I think that's the main complaint I've heard. So season 4 has already pretty much fixed that. Season 4 so far has pretty much just done the complete opposite. This is like peak fucking ReZero. I mean, season 3, okay, but me personally, I did like season 3 though. I actually loved season 3 so much, but season 4 has some different vibes, and I'm fucking loving these different vibes, bro.
I'm not gonna say I enjoy seeing him suffer more than I enjoy seeing him succeed, but
Yeah.
it is more entertaining to see him overcome what seems like an unbeatable situation.
Content, yeah.
Like, to not know which loop will finally be that successful one, that to me is where ReZero shines best.
Yeah.
So, for Subaru to be back in one of those conflicts where you're just not sure whether he'll survive or not, I'm thinking we've definitely got a lot to look forward to. That said, the anime did skip out on a decent amount to get here. From the truth of Ram's condition to what the miasma actually is, there's so much more from this episode to talk about.
Okay.
There were even a few extra emotional moments from Subaru's deaths too. So, if you want to know the full extent of what's happening in the story right now, stick around as we'll talk about all of that.
Yeah, I gotta keep in mind, for a second I was like, wait, because I gotta keep in mind episode 2. I gotta put my mind into episode 2 because I'm thinking of episode 3 stuff right now. He's already died the same amount of times as season 3. That's true. Yeah, we are at 23 deaths. Holy shit. That's crazy. Yeah, we already died the same amount of time. Okay, so we died the same amount of times as season 3 already, but I'm gonna go ahead and guess the difference this season though. The difference this season is the fact that like I don't think the deaths are stopping here. The deaths are gonna keep going. So yeah, we'll see how many fucking times we die this season, bro. How many times is Super gonna die this season? And yeah, I've heard of this also cut content deaths. Yeah, there's like cut content deaths, I think, in the web novel from what I heard.
Oh, and if you're interested in that time I got reincarnated as a slime, I've also been talking about that too.
He's with Tensura.
But anyway, episode 68, Overcome Sand Time, covering chapters 2 and 3 from volume 21 of the light novel.
Yeah.
Prior to the group's departure, there were a few cutscenes involving a lot of the side characters, one of which was Roswaal and Beatrice. They were having a discussion by themselves, Roswaal mocking Beatrice's switch to Subaru's side, and Beatrice countering with the fact her relationship with Subaru was far better than whatever relationship Roswaal had with Mother. More importantly than that, though, was the confirmation from both Subaru now had a second witch factor within him. Their discussion surrounding it was incredibly vague, but 2 lines in particular really stood out to me. The first was Beatrice saying how there should be other candidates aside from Subaru, and
there it is. Yo, this man Subaru's a whole ass sage candidate. The sage candidate, it's like rare. I'm pretty sure. Like being able to wield multiple witch factors. Like, this is fucking crazy, right?
The second was Roswaal mentioning something about being overlapped. I couldn't tell you
Overlapped.
what any of it meant, but with Beatrice refusing to allow Subaru to gain any more witch factors, I'm assuming that caution stems from Subaru being at risk of losing his identity, whatever that risk may be. So long as Beatrice was alive, Subaru would always be Subaru.
Damn. So it seems like maybe there could be other candidates, huh? Sage selection. The sage selection, that would be crazy, dude. If there's other sage candidates, yo, who would be the sage candidates? Like, that'd be interesting to see, like, if there's like any other sage candidates. Like, that'd be wild, huh?
After came a cutscene with Petra and Subaru, basically involving Petra complaining about how Subaru was going somewhere dangerous again. Her complaints were absolutely justified, but to Subaru, this was a job only he could do. Even if there was someone better suited for the job than him, Subaru wanted his face to be the first Rem saw when she woke up.
Yes, I also do remember him. Actually, I do remember AniNews mentioning these scenes in the episode 1 content. He didn't cover these because he thought that they were going to cover it in the episodes, but it seems like they're actually just going to be cut off. So it's actually good to hear, like, these like scenes that he mentioned in the last cut content video.
With every fiber of his being, he wanted to be the one who saved her.
Yeah.
So, knowing just how selfish and egotistical such a reason was, Subaru was ready for Petra to hate him forever. Instead, she would headbutt him right in the stomach, her way of telling him she understood. All she asked in return was that Subaru come back like he always did. So, it was then that Subaru would make her a promise. He would promise that she alone would always get the privilege of being the first one to welcome him back.
Okay.
This brings us now to where episode 2 begins, the final steps of preparation for their convoy. Now, the reason Subaru and Beatrice were placed on the side that needs protecting is because even with Beatrice, together their combat ability was only equal to Ram's. That's not to say that isn't still impressive, but when compared to the likes of Julius and Amelia, it was best to leave the serious fights to them. Surprisingly, Julius would be included in this conversation with Roswaal, mainly because Roswaal had seen enough to trust him. Not only that, without Roswaal even explaining anything, Julius had already assumed his concern for Ram was because of her constitution. It's then that Roswaal would actually go on to explain the specifics, but before I talk about that, it's likely they're saving that for a future episode.
Oh.
That being the case, if you don't want to know, skip ahead to here.
Do I want to know? I think I'll know. Fuck it. I don't see why not. Also, that point that he made, as well. Do we already know? Episode 3 stuff, probably. The point that, like, the other point that I wanted to, like, also, like, highlight. Yeah, it's just fucking wild. Betty is such a strong spirit. We literally have 400-year-old spirit. We got, like, no mana, bro. We literally used up, like, the entire, like, fucking mana, like the big, like, shit that, like, the amount of mana that, like, she saved up, all on the bunnies, and it was just over from there. And then to make it worse, the fucking that shit. What was I gonna say? The mana. Wow, I lost my train of thought. Yeah, she used the 400 reserves on the bunnies. Oh yeah, and the fact that she's so strong, even though she doesn't have, like, the mana shit, she still, like, gets, like, the lesser spirits away from her, right? I also remember that being mentioned. Like, even though she got, like, pretty much no combat ability, we just, I guess Betty still, I guess, like, generally considered strong, so the lesser spirits also are just away from us and shit. But that's wild, bro. Yeah, Betty best spirit, but Loki a bum. Chill, chill on Bako, bro. Come on, man. Listen. And you said that we're equal to, like, Ram in fighting power. It's not terrible. Like, Ram could fight. It's just, like, obviously we could just do more, but not right now, obviously. Also, I think this is, like, information that we already know. What he's gonna say right now.
Want to explain the specifics, but before I talk about that, it's likely they're saving that for a future episode. That being the case, if you don't want to know, skip ahead to here. Now, For those of you that do want to know, after having lost her horn, Ram's body can no longer contain all the power she was previously known to be so gifted with.
Yeah.
That in turn afflicts her body with this constant state of pain, persistently straining it under the weight of that power. It's only because she's so strong that she does a good job of hiding it, but if you've ever wondered why she's so grumpy or why she can never help out with the chores properly, this is mainly the reason.
Really? Did I know that? Like those that specific? Like the way that you say, I don't think I knew like the specifics of that. Like because of that. Oh man, is that why she's always so fucking mean? Yeah. Is that why she's always so fucking mean? She's just fucking triggered. Like she's pissed the fuck off, bro. Yeah, she's like Barasu, fucking pervert. Because she's fucking hurting, bro. She's suffering, bro. God damn. Okay. See, it wasn't even that. That wasn't crazy. What the fuck?
Because she's so strong that she does a good job of hiding it, but if you've ever wondered why she's so grumpy or why she can never help out with the chores properly, this is mainly the reason.
Okay.
So, in a way, Ram's condition is pretty similar to Subaru's, except where Subaru has Beatrice to regulate his defective gait, Ram always had Roswaal. It's the reason she privately visited Roswaal every night. Subaru just assumed that was something a bit more suggestive, but now that he knew what their secret meetings were really for, he was incredibly embarrassed by his misunderstanding.
Subaru, watch the break times, bro. You're not completely off. No, Subaru's not completely off the mark. Subaru, somebody give my boy Subaru the break times, bro, because Ram is definitely suggesting something else. Ram is suggesting definitely something else. So.
Now, the reason Julius was involved in this conversation at all is because Roswaal pegged him as the best substitute to regulate Ram's odd. Doing so required someone who could manipulate multiple colors of magic, a talent Roswaal assumed Julius had due to all the spirits surrounding him. Well, as we saw in the anime, while those spirits did still hover around him, the connection granting him their power was severed. If not for that, he would have helped out Ram for sure. It's for that reason Amelia would have to step in his stead. Beatrice too, as her knowledge would prove invaluable. Together, both should be able to assist Ram the same way Roswaal did. It was then that Ram would show up with Rem. The latter, now in a wheelchair, Subaru personally helped recreate using memories from his old world. Of course, he wasn't skilled enough to build it by himself, but with the help of craftsmen from the industrial hub of Lagunica, a wheelchair like this was easy.
Industrial hub from Lagunica, and from his knowledge of it, he was able to like pretty much get that made. That's cool though. That's shit. Yeah. Hey, W Subaru for that shit. I ain't gonna lie, bro.
Subaru wanted to be the one to push Ram himself, but that was a task Ram quickly made clear was hers. For Subaru, that was a bit disappointing, but with his two newly freed hands, they would both be held by Amelia and Beatrice instead. Both were quick to recognize Subaru's pain, so in a heartwarming moment, they would do what was necessary to comfort him. In fact, with Petra wanting to do the same and Rem one successful trip away from being awoken herself, Julius as a neutral observer put it best. When all was said and done...
Wait, what do you say there? Let me see what he said there. Surrounded by such beautiful women, you're truly blessed, but I cannot help but wonder whether your two hands are enough to satisfy all these beauties. Yo, Julius, bro. Yo, Julius. Man, bro. Dude, that's why he has invisible providence. Yo, good point. Good point, bro. That's why he has invisible providence, bro. Yo, that's crazy. But yeah, hey, man. Yo, Subaru low-key gotta hear him. The lust what if is real, guys. Yep, the lust what if is real, guys.
When all was said and done, though, it was an affectionate start to what would be at least a 2-month journey for them. Getting to the dunes took at least 20 days, a rather peaceful journey as the roads within Lagunica were safe. Still, Julius would be on watch while Subaru held the reins, an arrangement where the burden of reacting was on Julius.
Mhm.
That didn't mean Subaru was allowed to lose focus either, though, as a single yawn was enough to garner a warning from Julius. To him, a telegraphed opening such as that was something he wanted to avoid.
Okay.
In the meantime, the two would have that discussion about Julius and his spirits, then after came a lengthy discussion about Reinhardt. They both wondered who Reinhardt was before he was Reinhardt.
Oh.
Ever since Julius met Reinhardt back when they were 10 years old, in the 10 years since, Reinhardt hadn't changed a bit. The Reinhardt of today was the same fully developed, fully self-aware hero as the Reinhardt back then. So, despite Subaru and Julius both having their own worries on what they were and weren't capable of, they wondered if Reinhardt, this pinnacle to humanity, ever felt the same. He certainly didn't back when he was 10 years old, but perhaps prior to inheriting his grandmother's blessing at the young age of 5. Either way, to Julius, Reinhardt was the person he looked up to most. He hoped one day to embody even a portion of his character.
That's random as hell. They just started talking. That's random as hell. What a random ass combo. They just started talking about Reinhardt, thinking about Reinhardt. I mean, shit, bro. He is the blueprint, though. If you really think about it, he is the blueprint. You do got. Bro. If I was Isekai, bro, into this world, bro, and I see Reinhardt, like, go crazy, bro. Like, you know, like the season. Dude, like season 1, episode 3 shit, dude. Where, bro. That, by the way, that episode is still like insane. Like like that fucking Reinhardt vs. Elsa shit. Like when he revealed his powers is so fucking good. Like I see that shit and I'm like powerless. I'm gonna be like, yo, Reinhardt, train me, bro. How did you do it? I'm looking up to Reinhardt, bro. Like you kind of just have to look up to him, bro. He is the fucking blueprint. But correct though. Yeah, true. Yeah, Reinhardt may be strong physically, but mentally he definitely has the struggles, right? Everything that happened with the Estrella family as well, right? The entire drama that happened in season 3. But I would love to listen. I would love to like really know about that, but like of course, apparently the spoilers for like Arc 9 or some shit. So like I will never fucking know, I guess. But hopefully, eventually, whenever I can, I will fucking see more on his mental state and how he thinks, right? A day in the life of Reinhardt, bro. How he really feels, how he really thinks. Like I would love to see that shit, bro. Reinhardt POV, Reinhardt's perspective is one of my most wanted things, bro. I would love to see that shit, man. Yep, yes, he was abused emotionally by his dad and grandpa. God damn, Troy really going in on him. Yeah. That definitely happened to him.
Now, 3 days later, the group would arrive in Mirala, the self-proclaimed easternmost town in the world.
Yes.
Here they would arrive at that tavern, and in that tavern, Subaru would finally learn what miasma was. In short, miasma was just the word for mana polluted by something bad. The reason this was such a roadblock is because, just like breathing, mana is naturally absorbed by the body through a person's gait.
Yep, that was mentioned. Yes. So, that was mentioned literally this episode. I remember it's literally. So it's like, okay, so naturally as breathing, you kind of just naturally absorb the mana, right? So like because of that, that's why the closer they got to Satella Seal, right? Like they kept opening the iron doors and shit, or not the iron doors, but like you know what I mean, like the doors or like the gates that Subaru was opening because of the witch factor theory. So it just like drove them even crazier to the brink of just pure insanity, and it's because of that right there. It's like kind of like just like naturally just breathing in like bad air, like bad shit, dude. Just bad, man. It's like inhaling a harmful gas like carbon monoxide. Exactly, yeah, pretty much, which is fucking crazy, huh?
For mana polluted by something bad. The reason this was such a roadblock is because, just like breathing, mana is naturally absorbed by the body through a person's gait. If one is surrounded by an environment where that mana is tainted, then over time your body would react negatively as if taking in poison gas.
Well, yeah.
Small amounts of miasma were generally okay, but when it came to the miasma here, this was about as dense as it got anywhere in the world. That being the case, prolonged exposure to it would undoubtedly cause your heart and body to be swallowed up by the pollution of it. What happened then? Well, apparently you just go crazy. Your heart and body deteriorate to the point you're not yourself anymore. This
Yeah.
brings us now to a cutscene with the dragons, specifically the moment Joseph was added to the party. He was swapped in only after they arrived at Marula, mainly due to his species being far better suited for sandstorms. Patrash was a Diana dragon herself, so that meant she
Mm.
performed well in every environment. She was a breed said to be a descendant of the first dragon.
What? Patrash lore? Descendant of the first dragon? Diana? So she's good in any environment, every environment. What the fuck? Yo, Patrash lore drop. What the fuck?
Even if she wasn't, though, there was no way she would be left behind no matter how hard Subaru tried.
Yeah.
Reason being that the incident in Pristella left her upset. Just like every other woman in Subaru's life, she didn't like not being relied on when Subaru needed help most. So,
Okay.
after being locked away for the entire conflict in Pristella, for a short time after, Patrash would refuse to interact with Subaru.
Wow.
It wasn't until Otto intervened to explain why that Subaru finally understood Patrash just wanted to protect him.
Oh, yo, W Patrash, Patrash best girl. Yo, what the fuck? That's wholesome as hell. Yeah, no, I do remember. I do remember them mentioning that like her species is difficult to get along with. I do remember that. It's just the lore drop of like her being like the descendant of the first dragon and like the whole like that whole thing of like her like species Diana, right? Like I didn't really know that specific, but yeah. Yo, then she slimes him. All right, chill, bro. Come on, man. That was the miasma, okay? That was the miasma, guys. Come on, bro. That's not actually Patrash, bro. Chill. Um, but yeah, lore drop for Patrash, bro. Even Patrash got lore drops, so bro. Hey, man. That's why we love ReZero, bro. That's some good ass shit.
Patrash just wanted to protect him. Patrash wasn't the only one trying to be gallant, as Subaru too wanted to look out for Ram. You see, after 20 days, it was clear Beatrice and Amelia's treatment wasn't enough, so Subaru was always making sure she wasn't exerting herself. Of course, Ram was a bit embarrassed she was the cause of so much worry, but at the same time, she refused to let herself be a hindrance. Whether out of fear of being left behind or simply wanting to do her part, Ram was fully committed to seeing this through. It was then that Amelia and Ram would share a rare moment together, Ram noticing how Amelia acted a lot more confident, while Amelia happy Ram could act more comfortable around her. Before, she was always envious that Subaru got to see Ram's true personality, but on this trip, she got to experience it too. So it seems the two of them were becoming a little bit closer.
Oh, that's good. Oh, that's always nice to hear, man. Amelia and Ram getting okay. I like to hear that, bro.
Finally, the group would arrive at their very first obstacle, crossing the desert during sand time. This wasn't a random occurrence like how you may think, but rather a phenomenon occurring 3 times daily. Once in the morning, once midday, then once in the middle of the night. These weren't your typical sandstorms either, as the miasma infused with it meant they were essentially traversing a toxic waste dump. Fun fact, that's actually why the desert is a desert in the first place. It's not the climate or geography that makes this place covered in sand, it's the miasma killing any and all foliage.
Oh, that makes a lot of fucking sense. It's just that's crazy. It's just a miasma. That's why it looks like this. That's the only fucking reason. It's because of the fucking miasma. It's not because it's just like it just spawned there. It's just a desert. That's it. It's just because of the fucking miasma. That's crazy.
So, unlike the arid deserts we know, the desert here had rain and wasn't even hot. It
Yeah.
simply flowed with toxic poison. Now, the
That's
longest
crazy.
sand time always happened at night, so it was the right call to hunker down like how we saw in the anime. Meili's powers kept them safe while she slept as well, so that was another problem they didn't have to worry about. The only problem left then was the miasma. Based on how people were starting to talk less to each other, it was clear it was starting to cause fatigue and weariness. Not only that, there was a possibility the warp space not letting them get anywhere was a natural trap caused by the miasma. Perhaps like a bottomless swamp or the mirages you see in a real desert, this could be something similar. A naturally occurring threat to life that whoever built the tower just decided to take advantage of. The watchtower was, after all, meant to keep surveillance over the place where the Witch of Envy was sealed, so the
Yes.
question then was which came first, the watchtower or the trap? If it was the trap, that meant it wasn't made by humans, and something natural like that might not even have an answer on how to overcome it. In the end, Ram would be the only person who could find that answer, so despite being in extraordinary pain, she would lend her services anyway.
Okay.
This would actually turn out to be a multi-day endeavor, since not only did it require a lot of trial and error, the only times they could try was during one of the 3 sand times. 3 days was how long it took for them to finally reach a breakthrough, the bird switch would lead them directly out of the sand time.
Yes. Pandora leads them. Pandora or Otto leads them out, bro. These fucking fuck-ass birds, bro. I'm telling y'all, bro. I will never see white birds the same ever again.
You see, it wasn't natural for a bird like this to exist in such a harsh environment, so the only way it could possibly survive here is if there was some sort of secret. That was the reasoning for his choice to follow it, and sure enough, that secret was a hidden garden of sorts.
Yeah.
Now, those flowers were actually parasites feeding off whatever creature the Orin bears were, since while they definitely had the silhouette of a bear, whatever lay underneath wasn't. You see, with the way the roots of the flower extended all the way around the creature's body, that merely gave it the form of a bear. The sunken eyes underneath made it clear that this was more like a walking corpse.
Oh, man.
What happened next was exactly as we saw in the anime. Joseph triggering a stampede of bears, the group fending them off with an impressive display of teamwork, then a flash of light vaporizing Subaru's head instantly. No one was able to call out what happened or even react, as everyone who saw it got vaporized the exact same way.
Look at the fucking visual. This is crazy because in the anime you kind of just saw like his head pop and that's it. Look at the fucking visual here. It's like a fucking ray of just fucking it's just a fucking beam. A full ass beam just goes through him, bro. Like, holy shit.
Flash of light vaporizing Subaru's head instantly. No one was able to call out what happened or even react, as everyone who saw it got vaporized the exact same way, the dragons included. So, in only a mere instant, multiple flashes of light had wiped out their party just like that.
Yeah, everyone else got cooked too. That's how others saw it. Yeah. Oh yeah, the other beam that's going through, going to Bako. Yeah. Look at that shit. Look at that shit. Oh, what the fuck? It's right here. Look at that. But I hit Bako right after, bro. God damn.
For instant, multiple flashes of light had wiped out their party just like that. Of course, Subaru only bore witness to his, but that was the fate of the group in this loop. In the end, nothing remained but sand.
Damn.
Now, this type of death was rather unique, as when it came to after, usually Subaru would feel either pain, shock, or fear. Sometimes it was an intense pain that made him want to cry, other times it was a blood-curdling shock, then finally there was the terror of losing everything. This time, however, Subaru felt none of that, instead realizing this was more of a kind death.
Yeah, this death? That's crazy. Yeah, this death right here, I think it was like more confusion. It was like more confusing and like more like panic, like what, like, cause like he was like, bro, how did I die? Like, how did I die? Like, what is going on? I reset. Like, it was more like confusion, panic, cause like it all happened so fast and so instant that he didn't really have time to understand or process what happened. I also mentioned this in the episode 2 reaction, like the whole thing about like he needs time to process the deaths, because another thing about Subaru is that like, or like just like in general, right, like any fucking person, like if you see yourself die, right, and then you know how you died, for example, and then you come back instantly, and let's say like the checkpoint is like that close to also like right before your death, and everything like keeps happening so fast, you won't be able to have time to process and fully understand what happened, and you'll start to panic. And that's why it also took a couple of tries, because as soon as Subaru reset, right, in this instance he obviously did not know how he died, so he panicked, he was confused, like, oh my god, wait, did I return by death? And in the middle of trying to process and understand what happened, Joseph already screams. that fast. Because the checkpoint is right before it, so it's that fast. Like, Subaru couldn't even process what the fuck was going on. And because of that, we had to reset again. And then on that second reset, he was like, okay, I understand it now. See, he was able to kind of like get more information and understand and process more. And that's what led to him doing like the scratch on like Joseph, and we were good. But that's the main thing, bro. These checkpoints, right? The checkpoint locations, and how Subaru processes and understands like the depths. Like that's so, like that's such an important thing, bro. That mainly has to do with how far the checkpoint is, bro. And also the type of death, right? If the death is like really fast like that, you also will be even more confused. Like, how the fuck did I die? You know? So yeah.
It was more of a kind death. It had happened so fast that he wasn't even able to perceive it. It was as if he just blinked then returned to the past. For Subaru, it wasn't so much the fact he died that was bothering him, but rather the fact his checkpoint was here.
Yes.
He was bothered by how little time to respond he now had. Then, with the way everything repeated the exact same way it happened before, this to Subaru was the first time he'd experienced a reset he'd call a waste. Sure, there were plenty of times where he'd died failing to learn anything new from the previous loop, but this was the first time he'd found himself incapable of doing anything different.
There we go. Pretty much, the checkpoint is too soon. This checkpoint fucking sucks. So he's not able to plan anything out or understand or like being able to process anything. So like trying to make up a plan and think of like a solution on the spot right there within seconds. It's like rough, dude.
As they were now, they were on track to repeating the very same mistake they made the first time, all without having the opportunity to learn anything new. So, with very little room to maneuver at all, Subaru was worried his ability to return by death might have just been backed into a corner. Regret overwhelmed him as he knew no value was to be gained from his previous loop. Still, he would try to make the most out of it anyway, but as we saw, the outcome was unsurprisingly the same.
Yep.
Patrash's effort would be nothing more than a futile attempt to block the unblockable, merely prolonging what would have been quick and painless. Beatrice would then do all she could to support Subaru's limp body, while Subaru would do all he could to try and comfort her. When nothing of his physical body worked, instead, Subaru drew on something that wasn't part of his body.
Yeah.
That's right. Despite knowing this loop was over, Subaru would still use every bit of his remaining energy to use an invisible hand to wipe Beatrice's tears away. The second shot merely put Beatrice out of her misery first, while whatever remained of Subaru was left to the Maw Beasts. Subaru wasn't sure whether it was them that dealt the final blow or something else, but what he did know was his brain couldn't comprehend anything anymore.
His brain couldn't comprehend anything anymore. That's how fucking wild that shit was, bro. Patrash takes the hit, Patrash dies, and even though with Patrash taking that hit, he gets hit in the fucking, his guts are everywhere, but like fucking some Elsa type shit. Then Baako, like the whole Baako scene that we already know of as well, right? Like the whole invisible providence, unseen hand, wiping away her tears. Insane scene. That's just an insane, bro. Back-to-back crazy events, bro. Like, that right there is just wild, bro. Like, that shit, like, if you really think about it, like, how much shit happened back-to-back? Patrash sacrifice. Subaru gets fucking cooked. Baako's like panicking and crying and trying to you know, and like, you know, pretty much like going towards Subaru like, oh my god, and she's panicking as well. Then right after that, they both get sniped and they both die. Like, that entire sequence right there was just wild, dude.
It was that confusion that he would quickly have to overcome, ultimately leading to the move which would save them. Subaru wasn't sure what the cost of doing so would be, but in the moment he activated his power, something inside him felt like it was being torn away. It was a far different feeling from all the other times he'd used it. Normally, the invisible hand would bring with it the intense feeling of having lost half his body, but for some reason what he felt here was nothing. If anything, he was just breathing a little heavier.
Yeah.
It's not like that was necessarily a good thing though, since there was no benefit in getting used to a power that was undoubtedly harming himself. This, however, wasn't the time to figure that out, so instead the group would fall back for a meeting. They would commend Meili for her efforts in the field, then ask if anything could be done about the bears. If there were less than 100, she definitely could, but for a garden of this size, she sensed there were more. perhaps thousands or even tens of thousands. So, to continue forward, that meant she'd have to focus on the more immediate bears, moving only those in front, then hoping it wouldn't disturb any of the other ones. Further discussions about the sand time revealed it was similar in nature to Beatrice's passage, making it a distortion in space that could spit out those who traverse it anywhere. Finally came the talk about the light, the truth of which Subaru would have to skirt without revealing how he came about it. Remember, anything even hinting at return by death was taboo. So, Subaru would have to chalk his warning up to instinct, a message Ram would be surprisingly acceptive of. Reason being that this to her was the natural development of those lucky enough to survive as many dire situations as Subaru.
Yep, W Ram. W fucking Ram, bro. Like, W Ram and W Amelia, like, everyone, the fact that everyone just supports Subaru, believes in Subaru, like, they're just like, oh, your instinct is telling you, like, oh, like, the light, right? And like, we're gonna get like sniped or whatever. Okay, we believe you. Okay, your instinct is always right, bro. We believe in you. Like, that's always so, like, so nice to hear, bro. It's just like the trust that his comrades have on him, bro. Like, Subaru, I mean, fair enough though. Yo, you imagine being in like Subaru's like friend group? yo, you imagine being in like Subaru's like friend group, or like just like not even friend group, just like the group of, like, you know, when you're going for a mission, and then out of nowhere you just like you hear Subaru go, hey, so there's actually gonna be a sniper up there. Don't ask. I kind of just have a feeling, bro. And I'm like, bro, if I was there, I'd be like, what the fuck? How do you know this? Everyone just accepts like the whole instinct thing, but that's so funny though, because like that's happened multiple times at this point. Like being in Subaru's like group, and you hear this man like pretty much every single time y'all go on a mission, he just goes like, oh, I have a feeling about this. Yo, my instinct is telling me this. And it pretty much every time is right. It's just like, what the fuck? How do you do it, bro? So, and also the fact that this is the perfect run. Like, for everyone else, Subaru has never died. For everyone else, Subaru has never died. So this guy is just a fucking magician. A fucking wizard, bro. Like, how the fuck is your instinct this good, bro? Type shit. So, wild, bro.
As Subaru. Just as a field rat knows to change its den before the rain comes, Subaru seemed to pick up on danger before it actually struck.
Yep.
Then, as if Subaru was being targeted by a sniper, a red dot akin to a laser pointer would appear right on his chest. The next instant, a flash of light would come barreling towards him, except this time the others would be there to help him. Amelia would create a chestplate of ice to block the initial impact, then Julius would intercept it right as it was about to penetrate that chestplate.
Oh, that's a little different. In the anime, it was like multiple walls, right? It was like multiple walls. Here, it's like some sort of chest plate, and Julius is right there to kind of help out too. They also have the hoodies. I don't think they had the hoodies on the anime too. A little different, okay.
The chest plate wasn't even enough to delay the attack for a complete second, yet still Julius was able to react fast enough. In fact, with the way they showed it go down in the anime, this has got to be one of my favorite scenes with Julius.
Facts. No, he came in clutch here, y'all. Julius right here came in so fucking clutch. Like, W fucking Julius. I mean, everyone in this squad has come in clutch, bro. Like, everyone has come in clutch. Like, everyone's just a whole W. And it's, yeah, the crazy thing about Julius, though, he's nerfed. Like, he doesn't even have his spirits, like shit, like, working right now, bro. It's just him. He's just him with his, like, night abilities, bro. And he was able to do that shit. He stopped that needle, bro. Like, that's fucking wild.
Perhaps even better than a lot of scenes with Reinhardt. The fact Julius is a normal person makes the feat even more impressive, so perhaps he's a bit stronger than we think he is.
That's true. He did that. He's a normal person. He don't got a divine protection of the Sword Saint. He ain't no Sword Saint, bro. This is just him. He's just him.
In any case, with one layer of ice not being enough, Amelia's next defense would consist of 6. Again, the needle would break through, but now it was slow enough for Julius to intercept without difficulty. It also gave Subaru time to activate EMT, so the third attack was no faster than a simple arrow. This gave Ram the opportunity to sync with whoever the attacker was, confirming the target was in fact Subaru. Moments
Correct.
later, the world beneath them would crack, and their fall into darkness is what would wrap up the episode. So that's pretty much it for that, and with that, I'd say ReZero is making a nice return to the tone it carried in the first 2 seasons.
Yes.
I'm genuinely curious to see how much more struggles Subaru will be faced with. Now, if you liked the video, then leave a like, and if you want to see more
That's that, bro. AniNews, man. Thank you so much once again for the cut content, man. That is for the episode 2 cut content, bro. W, bro. Yeah, amazing video. We will see when episode 3 drops, bro. We will be there, bro. AniNews, take your time, bro. I see, yo. Who knows how long like these like cut content videos? I wonder how long it really takes them, because like if he's doing Tensura and ReZero at the same time and it's like rough, dude, I can't even fucking imagine how long this shit takes. But hey, man, AniNews, bro, thank you so much once again. That is going to be it for today's cut content, bro. If y'all enjoyed and you're new, subscribe, leave a like down below. If you want to check out the uncut version to the actual ReZero episodes, it'll be on the Patreon, man. As always, have a good day. Yeah, see you guys next time. See you guys.